Okay, so let's take a look at how you can build and run .NET MAUI Blazor app, and for that you will need a new updated Visual Studio, right? So if you don't have Visual Studio, what you can do is go to Visual Studio website, then download the community edition, right? As you can see, I already have Visual Studio, and I can go to the installer, Visual Studio installer, where I'll have to update my version of Visual Studio, right? So as you can see here, Visual Studio community, I already have the update. Usually updates appear at the bottom of this button, right? So make sure to update that. Once you update, click on modify, right? And then you will have to select .NET multi-platform app UI development, also known as MAUI, right? So if you have this checked due to the update, then you are ready to execute the MAUI code and build MAUI project, right? And from here you will be installing around 6 to 7 GB of that particular framework. So once you do that, close this and you can launch Visual Studio community, right? You can close the installer. It takes a bit of time to open the launcher, right? So have some patience. Next thing is going for create new project. It will also take a bit of time to load this. So here you can see recently I created one of the black MAUI app for Windows. Similarly, there is also Blazor app, right? So as you can see at the top, .NET MAUI Blazor app. This app can run on Windows and Android, Mac, etc. as well, right? So select it, and if you want to find out where to check for MAUI, at the end you will find the particular framework name MAUI. Select them, click next. Here you will have to say MAUI Blazor demo, right? And you can choose where to create this project, right? And solution will be in this particular location. Click next. Here you get to choose the framework. Currently I only have 6.0. if you have 7 or 8, you can change that here. Then click create. Then it will take a bit of time and create a solution, right? So depending on your RAM, this may take a while. In my case I have 16 GB, but still it takes a bit of time for me to open that particular project. So let's wait for that. Okay, once it opens a solution, next thing it will do is it will load all the solutions and dependencies, right? So let's say just like you have typical your Java and Kotlin within Android Studio, you will be having similar with .NET MAUI as well, right? On the right hand side you will find Solution Explorer, where you have pages, resources, platforms, then shared and WW root, right? And also the properties, and there is also data folder, right? So these are basically your folder structure, where your main razor file and app XML, these are important, right? Then comes the important part, the deployment target. So here you can see Windows machine is the current default, and here you have Windows. You get to change that to Android if you want, or iOS, Mac. For now we will go with Windows first, then we will go for Android, right? So let's keep it as is. At the bottom here you can see it is currently processing at the background. Simply click on this particular notification. Here you can see what are some of the packages that are running or background tasks running, right? And it says restoring locate packages, no background tasks running, and then right, so you are good to go. Here you can see how is Blazor working for you is the title. We can change this if you want, right? So let's say hello world. We will change this to hello DevNami, right? Now we can simply click on Windows machine as deployment target and let this debug. Now the build will start and a window will appear, which is basically a Microsoft Edge instance or Chromium instance. And you can check the output progress here. As you can see, debug any CPU, your project name and configuration. So let's wait for that to finish and open a window. And there is a hot reload button, so any changes that you make and you want to push that, you can click on hot reload, so it will appear there. Okay, one more thing is that you will have to also enable the developer mode, right? So whenever you are working with .NET MAUI, that mode is necessary. So make sure to go to settings within your Windows, and here as you can see, I'll have to search for developer, right? So let's go to this particular text box. It's taking a bit longer for me to work with Windows today, so simply typing developer settings and then go to that particular page, right? And here make sure that developer mode is active. Now you can close the window, right? And there we go, we have our Windows deploy in process. As you can see here, the process memory is showing here, and this window will slowly load. Now the slow performance is purely because of me, so you can forgive me for that. Here you see counter fetch data. So this is done entirely in MAUI, right? So if you click on it, it will increase the count, and this has fetched the weather data from an API. There is also about page which will open a new ASP.NET doc. You can ignore that, right? So this is Windows deploy. You can close this. Now if we go back to deploy target, we can go for Android emulator. Choose Pixel 5, which is the default that I have, right? And then I can deploy to Android. So this will also create one instance of Pixel 5, which will open an emulator, and then it will load our Android. Okay, now that you created an app with Windows, also you can deploy with Android with the Pixel. What you can do is you can then select back Windows or Android back and forth as you required, right? So if we choose this .NET 6 Windows, it will revert back to Windows machine. Now one more thing, when you're creating your Blazor project, you will be able to access resources from resources folder, where you have these font images and other options. So if you have any specific splash image or so, you can make use of here and use it for your Android app. Similarly, raw data, images, fonts. Then there is also app icon. All of these assets can be changed. I'm telling you this because if you are building Android app, you will be able to access those from these location, and it will be easier to point out within your Razer app, right? So do keep this in mind, that you have resource directory for doing those sort of operations. Also APIs, you can go through this type of CS solutions and then get to accessing within your home or other Blazor pages, right? So these two that I wanted to discuss, because some of the folks that wanted to extend the base application further and create their own small apps from this demo app can make use of data for getting API data or their own connection, right? Can use this directory and resources for those specific resources.